Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's episode I am going to show you the helicopter trip at Grand Canyon that I took during my work and travel experience in United States. So to start off, I'd like to explain how I got my trip on, which is by booking a tour from Detours. I just searched them up online and I found a package that I liked and took it, which also includes the helicopter trip. A brief explanation of my tour: it will be a long journey in the van for hours, and the tour guide is very professional, and he will keep everyone in the van entertained by talking to them and talk about the history of Arizona and Phoenix, and about the desert, the Hopi reservations, as well as the cactuses of the Sonora Desert. So I think throughout the trip you will be very entertained, and don't worry about the long duration of hours of traveling. As well as before arriving the Grand Canyon, they will also have a pit stop at the souvenir shop for you to get souvenirs first, and also to drop by a gateway town to go to Grand Canyon, which is the Williams. You would be placed at William for maybe around 30 minutes to 1 hour to walk around Williams, to stretch your body, to take photos of the trains and understanding the small town of Route 66. And they will continue the journey to bring you to Grand Canyon. If you were to sign up for a helicopter trip package, the tour guide would drop you off first at Tusayan here, which is where you are going to take your helicopter trip. So the trip that I booked from Detours, they are using Maverick helicopters. After you arrive Maverick Center, which is the place you would take a helicopter trip on, they would first allow you to wait at the lobby for a while, and then later on they will brief you on the safety measures. Without further ado, they will bring you up onto the helicopter with assigned seating to you. So if you were lucky, you would get to be a shotgun to get the best view, which is what I get, and some people will take the back seat. You'll also get equally good view, but I would suggest getting the shotgun seat would be an added advantage to see the greatest sight of Grand Canyon. So during the helicopter trip, they will bring you to fly across a plains of a lot of trees, and then it will dive off a cliff, and you would see the whole beautiful rocks as well as the Colorado River. Along the trip of the flight, the pilot will also brief you on the history of rock formations and how old the rock is, depending on the layer of color. And then apart from that, you would also be brought to fly across the north and south rim throughout the whole journey. And you get to see really different rock formations, and some they are flat, some they have like sharp points, pointy stuff. They are all just different in their own way. Some are like mountains, and if you were to see a bit more clearly, you can also see people actually walking down inside the canyon, which requires a bit more effort if you wanted to spot for them. But overall, it's very eye-catching and breathtaking, with the whole colors and the whole zoomed out view of the Grand Canyon that you could see in different angles and different locations that you fly across. I think I decided to take the Grand Canyon helicopter trip is because I've heard reviews that it is better than just going to the Grand Canyon Village and take a single-sided shot of Grand Canyon. And with the helicopter trip, it brings you to several different angles of the Grand Canyon, and you can see parts that as a regular visitor you won't be able to see. And even if you are on the ground, you won't be able to see such view, because nothing beats from seeing sceneries from up the top looking down. That is where you get a 360 zoomed out view of scenery pictures that you see on Bing Pictures or Google Images. Those are the best ways that you can actually see a scenery. And I did not regret taking the helicopter trip, because it has brought me to see things that I've never imagined that I could ever witness. After the helicopter trip, the tour guide will pick you up and also bring you to the Grand Canyon Visitor Center, where your other tour mates have been to. You will also get to drop by there for a short while, as well as go to the Grand Canyon Village to have a final walk at the village, to visit the souvenir shops, to walk through the history of time pathways, the hiking trails for a while, you would not miss out. And then later on, everyone will be gathered back and travel back to where you came from, which is, for me, is Phoenix, Arizona. So overall in the trip, you did not miss out anything. You can also get the helicopter trip done. However, the price of the whole trip, during my time I went, I think it's around $300 to $400 in the whole package for my helicopter trip and the Grand Canyon trip, including going to Williams as well as dropping by the souvenir stores and whatnot. So overall, I feel like it's reasonable to experience it if you have the extra cash to do it. Else, I think if you wanted to see Grand Canyon as it is okay to also just book the regular package to see the Grand Canyon.